of course, the one with $85,000. Now, the first piggy bank represents a checking account. That's the average checking account. And that's typically insured by FDIC, and it's not a significant amount compared to the rest. The second one, everyone buys car insurance nowadays because it's the law, that the typical auto costs. And the third, $170,000, represents the average cost of a house. And the fourth is the long-term care expense cost. That's the one for $85,000. If you don't have a proper risk management coverage, this is really a good time to look at it and decide exactly how much of that exposure you're willing to take. When it comes to healthcare expenses, there are basically 4 ways to cover healthcare related costs. Self-insure, you could use your personal assets, or asset-based products that include long-term care benefits. What that does, if you need it, you have the long-term care coverage. If you don't need it, your children or your heirs could have a tax-free money coming to them in multiples. And there's Medicare. For Medicare, you've got to qualify. It's got a very strict qualifying methods, and if you do qualify even, the benefit is only up to 100 days. And then Medicaid, you've got to qualify for welfare. And now also keep in mind that with the new law, the look back is 5 years. And I've been reading more and more that you shouldn't really plan your retirement expecting government to pay for the expenses. And then you have long-term care insurance. And you've got to take advantage of the long-term care insurance from private insurers while you're still healthy and insurable. When you're looking at this picture here, you have an umbrella, and then the money is being held at the bottom, at the base. And you have the market and credit risk exposure. You have the long-term care exposure, the health care, disability. These are exposures that could really deplete your money if you don't have a proper planning for it, a safety net. So you want to make sure you got a comprehensive coverage and plans in your portfolio to make sure that you sustain your asset and you reduce your exposure to risk. Now let's take a look at the market cycle. Right after the crash of 1929, we went through a 19 years of bear market with just a little over 3% return. And then we had a 16-year bull with about 14% annual return average. And then we had a 15-year bear and then a 16-year bull. And we're just coming out of that, and we're about 6 years into it. What this basically says is most experts say there's 36 years between one peak of the bull market to the next peak. What this means is it takes a long time for people to be bullish, and it also takes people a long time to be bearish. And you've got to really think and look at your own portfolio now and think, is my money positioned where it should be given the market cycle history and trends? And these are just the average returns in the average cycle. And a lot of experts say now we are in a very atypical time. What we've done after hearing a little blurb on TV is compare the Dow Jones to the NASDAQ. And what our team did is they took the Dow Jones of 1929 to 1948 and plotted against NASDAQ of 99 to 05. And when we look at the company history, the Dow had very promising companies with very little or no earning with a lot of potential. And the same with the NASDAQ of 1999. And so the peaks and valleys are very similar. And now, would the market volatility continue? Well, here we have Index Compodium saying, I'm a great believer that the small investor is nearly always wrong. And in 1999 and early 2000, just before the bear market, net flows into equity mutual funds were at all-time highs. And here we have Michael Pazner in the Financial Armageddon say, according to James Stack, who's a markets historian and editor of Investec Research, Not one recession in the past 50 years was predicted by a major poll of economists. Not one. We have nearly $6 trillion earning less than 1.5%. Warren Buffett is quoted as saying, "We have more cash than ideas of where to invest it." At the time of this quote, he was sitting in a lot of cash, and now he's sitting on more and more cash. And basically, a little background about Warren Buffett. In 1966, at the peak of the bull market, he started selling and sitting on cash. For 8 years, he sat on cash. And on his own mind, when he thought the market hit the lowest bottoms, he started buying stocks like crazy, and the rest is history. The idea behind Warren Buffett's philosophy of investing is there's time to be on preservation and there's time to invest, to be in the market. And then we have Jeremy Grantham, who is a market cycle expert. He also started investing in 1966, but he lost almost all of the money he was managing to the market correction. But since then, he's become the market cycle expert. And he's quoted as saying, 2003 was a bear rally, and the market is still overpriced, and a major correction is still to come. To give you a little background about Jeremy Grantham manages the money for John Kerry, Dick Cheney, most of Ivy League endowments, and mobile pension plans. Is it possible to earn more interest without risking the safety of your money? This here shows the 5-year average return of the following asset classes. The actual index fund that has a 5% return, but the index annuity that was linked to the same index fund did 30% return. And that's really what we're here to talk about. Traditional tax-deferred fixed annuities can help. It gives you tax deferral, which gives you tax control. For example, if you're in a 30% tax bracket and you're getting 4.25% return in the fixed deferred account, that's equivalent to about 6.07% return in a taxable account like CD. Fixed index annuities can provide your money reduced risk, principal protection, your initial premium remains intact, free from market fluctuations. Your potential earnings are linked to the performance of the market index and can only fluctuate within a predefined range over the term of the annuity. And a minimum guarantee return, regardless of the market index performance. What this means is you've got a safety net. Because it's annuities, it's tax deferred. How about the safety? Are fixed index annuities safe? Fixed index annuities are not securities. They are fixed annuities issued and guaranteed by a legal reserve life insurance company. Life companies are subject to very strict guidelines established by the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, NAIC. These guidelines require the life companies to reserve $1 for every dollar they guarantee you. In addition, the NAIC requires these dollars be conservatively invested or more than the minimum be invested. Regardless of the fixed index annuity, all fixed index annuities provide index participation, forego some of the upside to get the principal protection. What this basically means is that you let go of a little bit on top, but you get a safety net for your money, principal. Here's how it works. If you take a look at the screen, one of the best performing fixed index annuities that we see for a sideways trading market is the annual reset feature of the fixed index annuities. What this does is allows you to eliminate the bad years. No matter how the market performs, you're guaranteed a minimum return at the end of your policy. And the next year, let's say the market went down 20%, the actual market index goes down to 88, but you stay at 108. The following year, market goes up, and the value of the index fund is